So are you allowed to ask someone about their vaccination status? Because Cassie, our social media director, did this a couple of days ago, and it got awkward in the office.
And normally I would never ask personal health questions like that. It's just with coronavirus, I think it's when it comes to my safety and the safety of my child, I feel like it's something I should be able to ask, but I don't think somebody should feel obligated to answer, right? So I've been wondering because I'm trying to make a couple of appointments, going back into the world slowly but surely, but I don't know how to ask or if it's really appropriate to ask people like a hairstylist or a makeup artist, hey, are you vaccinated? Because honestly, if they say no, I don't want to work with them. No judgment. I won't be cruel or anything like that. That's just my preference at this point in time. But I also know that the decision to get vaccinated for many is a very contentious topic, and it's a very heavy one that a lot of people are struggling with. And I don't want to insult anybody, even though I believe in vaccinations. And so the other day I was actually in studio and a man walked in without a mask on. And the policy at our office is if you are unvaccinated, you wear a mask in common areas, and there are only a couple of people, and then everyone else is vaccinated. Like, the studio is a safe space. Everyone in here is fully vaccinated. We have to show proof. So he walked in without a mask on.
And we weren't here, and nobody else was here.
No, it was just me. Oh. I think it was on Friday, and I was the last, Tommy was in there, I think, but I was the last one in the studio left. So I just quietly packed up my laptop. I put my masks on, packed up my laptop, and went outside. And then I was like, Cassie, you can ask. You can be polite and ask. Because in my head, I'm like, I just want to know. I want to know, in case something happens, I want to know what my exposure point is. And so I went back in and I said, I'm so sorry to ask this. I know it's personal, but are you vaccinated? And the man scoffed and said, no. And I was like, okay, all right, that's it. That's the information I was looking for. He answered the question, so I left. And then he came out a couple minutes later, like a minute later after me. And I don't think he was following me out. I think he was coming back into the hallway for some tools because he was working on the studio, and he's not employed by our company. Let me be clear.
Why do I feel like you're getting so anxious telling this story?
I am.
Why?
Can you hear me? I'm getting short of breath.
But why?
I don't know. I feel like I did something wrong the way he treated me, and it's very confusing to me because I don't think I did anything wrong. But I felt like he came back out and combatively said, is that going to be a problem? And I was like, yeah, honestly, it's our company's policy that you wear a mask. So I just informed him. And he's like, well, I can go get one. And I was like, well, it's just the company policy. Like, this isn't even me being a weirdo. That is the company policy. And it just made me so upset that I had to amp myself up to ask this question. Like, I had to get in the courage because I'm very much like, your health is your decision. It's none of my damn business. But in this case, I felt like it was. He came into my workspace unmasked, and you guys know how careful I've been. And I don't think it's the end of the world. I didn't call his company and say, oh my God, what did you do? It's just a simple conversation. I felt like I was met with such vitriol and hate, almost borderline hate and anger over asking this question. And now I'm really scared to ask anyone else, even people I know, but I want to know. That's information that I would like to know. You're welcome to share it or not. I totally respect that decision on behalf of the person I'm asking. But I don't know how to ask because I thought I asked really politely, and maybe it made me look like a pushover, or maybe he felt like he was being attacked, because I know sometimes people have said stuff to me online and I've taken it the wrong way and been like, how dare you? And it's just a suggestion.
As somebody who, I don't know him, but as somebody who knows you and has known you for a decade, I know where your heart is, and you are so anti-confrontational, and you are aware, and I'm sure you did it in a polite manner. I don't think you did anything wrong in this instance. And I feel as long as you approach these conversations with, it is your right to answer or to deny a response, and I respect that. But for my own health, I need to know, are you vaccinated? If you refuse to answer, that's fine. I will take that, and if the people that you're seeking for appointments, if they don't answer, well, then you're not going to see them because you didn't get the information you needed.
I think we're living in this place right now where everybody's assuming we're judging, right? So you're simply asking a question for your own health. But he feels like, because of this environment we're in now, that you're about to judge him. So he's judging you based on your question, right? Yeah. And there was none of that going on. It's like none of us are being mature enough just to say, he's not asking me what my political beliefs are. or she's not asking me what my political beliefs are. She's just trying to protect her health. And this is, like I've tried to coin before, unprecedented times. So I think it takes a little grace and a little patience. But because we're so politically fired up about this right now that we're not seeing the common sense question.
It's nerve-wracking. Like, I can't, just talking about it, like you guys noticed, like my heart's racing because I know people are so up in arms over it. I posted a photo of me the other day wearing a mask. Just wearing a mask. Like, I didn't even say you should be wearing one. I just said, I'm wearing a mask still because I have an unvaccinated kid, personal circumstances. And I got so many hate messages over it.
Oh, yeah. When I was in Ecuador a couple of weeks ago, you have to wear a mask in Ecuador everywhere you go, right? And I posted a picture of myself in a restaurant, right? And I got an instant message saying, be a leader and take your mask off.
Oh,
Be a leader.
Be a leader and take your mask off. Even though it's illegal in their country,
Wow.
I'm going to be a leader and take my mask off.
And it's funny, somebody having to tell you to be a leader, because by doing it, you are indeed being a follower of the person who's telling you to be a leader.
Who thinks they're a real leader.
Yeah.
I hate hearing you talk about this and hearing your voice amp up, because you're not only are you questioning that dilemma that you were in, but also the perception everybody's going to have of you after this story, because people take it a political way and it's not necessary. I mean, we have always, as greetings to each other, yes, I'm going to take it here, been like, hi, how are you? Hi, how do you do? And now I'm just adding that to my vocab where it's like, hi, are you vaccinated? It's just, that's my hi, how are you now? And I should be able to ask that, but it's, like you said, he was worried about judgment. He judged her. Like, she said, are you vaccinated? And he was like, ugh. He scoffed.
I know,
so
this really sounds stupid, but I think we just have to respect each other's opinion on it. That's all. You weren't making a judgment, right? Mo?
I think the fatigue has set in for a lot of different people too, because you got to learn how to take things personally, because he probably goes into other workspaces without a mask and then they have different rules and he's probably always asked, but that doesn't mean you did anything wrong. He might be in a space where he's tired of it. You're in a space where you're tired of it. Like, everybody has to have more grace with each other.
And I'll concur with exactly what Kristen was saying. I've known you for 10 years. I know who you are. I don't know him, but I still think he was right.
What the hell? You do not. Don't.
Hey, Jordan, good morning. You're on the Bert Show. Hi.
Hey, what's up? How you doing, bro?
Great. Thank you.
I just wanted to tell her, don't take it too harsh. It's just so early right now, and people take it so personal. Or everything, you can breathe the wrong way, and people are like, ah! So it's just one of those things you can't take it too personal. You're a good person. You sound like a good person. I don't know you personally, but
she's not.
I know where you're coming from.
Bert.
You have a child that you're trying to protect, and that's the end of the story. You got to protect what's in your house before you protect anybody outside. So
Yeah, we're all going through. None of us have gone through a pandemic before. None of us. If you are, you're really old.
Or you got some past life stuff going on that we don't know about.
But I'm not communicating it well. I just don't understand why we can't ask a question like that and give a question like that and understand why it's being asked. And it has nothing to do with my political beliefs whatsoever.
It's one of those, don't make this this is not about you. This is about me and my health and my circumstances. I don't know your circumstances and you don't know mine, which is why I'm asking the question. If you choose not to answer, that's your prerogative, and I'll take that information as I need to. And again, it's just, that's why I had no problem reaching out to Amy to ask her about our anniversary party. I'm like, all right, girl, what's the COVID protocols here? Because we're putting a group together, and we're not going to know every single person in that room like we do in here. And she laid it all out as far as the protocol, and I'm like, perfect. Guess what? When you see those anniversary pictures, I'm going to be wearing a mask because there's going to be unvaccinated people there, and I have a newborn at home, and that's what makes me feel comfortable.
I'm gonna wear a bubble.
Bring two.
Roll around.
Hey, Charlie.
We're going to have some fun.
Last call on this, Charlie. What's going on?
Hi. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm on the side of, if the issue was to inform them of the company policy, then I feel like that's where you should have approached them about, hey, our company policy is to wear a mask. Whether or not he was vaccinated is irrelevant. So I can see if he, got a little testy, I can understand that. If the premise was I need to inform him of the company policy, then that's it. Inform him of the company policy.
Well, the company policy is only you need to wear a mask only if you're unvaccinated. So I feel like it's also just as it's to assume someone is unvaccinated. I also feel wrong. Like, so if someone came in and was fully vaccinated and didn't have a mask on, and I said, you need to wear a mask, and they're like, I'm vaccinated. So I just tried to, personal confrontation makes me nervous. Mm-hmm. And this is such a private question. It's such a personal question. And I feel like I'm invading space.
It's very personal. And when it comes down to it, whether or not they are vaccinated or not is their choice, their decision. And if they want to wear a mask, they can wear a mask or not.
No, but
when it's policy.
Yeah, but when you're in, like, if it's policy in the building and he comes into our space and you have somebody in the room that for medical purposes can't be around an unvaccinated person without a mask, like, what do you do?
So that's the company. The company needs to have some kind of way to enforce that, because if he was allowed into the building and allowed to start working and he's unvaccinated and he's not wearing a mask, I don't think the employees should be held accountable for that. I think that's where it's kind of at a higher level of, okay, company, how are we going to know if people are vaccinated or not? Are they going to do a questionnaire? Are they going to do a survey? What?
But at that point, it's too late.
Yeah.
He's in the studio. She's in the studio trying to earn a living. So she's not exactly sure if he's following protocols or not. So what do you do at that point?
And it's our airtight studio. And to be fair, I just want to be very clear. Like, I'm not judging him. I'm not coming at him. Like, he did nothing wrong. It's just, how do you have those conversations?
The Bert Show.